It's this is sort of a comeback year for CES because with 2020 there were, I think they canceled like a year and it was very small attendance for the following years. It sounds like more people are attending. There are more products happening. It seems like the show's getting back into the swing of things that it initially was before the pandemic, and that is a crazy, wild tech extravaganza spread all throughout Las Vegas. So it's not even just in the convention center; it's all over the place in Las Vegas.
And as big as it is, there seems to be one central theme this year, and that is all AI all the time, artificial intelligence. Based on what you're seeing, what does 2024 represent as a year for artificial intelligence?
It's probably going to be the year we see more things in action. The big theme of last year was a lot of AI announcements. Microsoft and a whole bunch of companies leaned into generative AI and a lot of these technologies. This year, we're seeing them in products. So, you know, one thing we're seeing is AI PCs being talked about from companies like Intel and AMD. They've introduced new processors, which, you know, are going to be little AI processors in your upcoming laptops and some desktops, and they're going to do some extra work for your computers. So, you know, these things are going to make our computers smarter, but there's also a lot of like, you know, a lot of hype out there. You're talking about the Mercedes car. I'm not quite sure how AI is implemented in that dashboard, but basically these companies can say anything. You know, if it's vaguely computerized, if there's an algorithm involved, they will probably attach AI to the name of that too.
Isn't that interesting? It's now part of the branding, because I heard somebody say, you know, if you don't have an AI play, are you even a technology company right now? Everybody wants to say that. But can we come back to the AI PCs for a second? Because you've been writing about those quite a bit, and I know of all of the things there, you're perhaps most intrigued by these. Why? Why do these matter in terms of how they'll affect our daily life?
It's I guess it's more of a geeky thing, but these AI PCs have something called an NPU in them, and these are little, you know, little additions to the processor that can do AI workloads. So, you know, I'm chatting with you guys over Zoom. If I had a computer with an NPU, I could use that to blur the background very smoothly. It could do things like keep track of my face, or even like focus my eye detection on you. And those are things that can happen now with software, but they don't always look so good. So Zoom's built-in background blur, I think, is not that great. So things like that will get better. And also things like Photoshop and other tools, Audacity, the audio editing app, they're going to have these features that can tap into that AI chip to do a lot more work without hitting your battery life too hard on a laptop. So that's going to be useful for a lot of people.
So useful, applicable. Are all of the things that we're seeing showcased in Las Vegas this week, are they actually going to make it to market? Are they going to really take off, do you think?
Oh, no. The joy of CES is that we see a lot of wild ideas out there, and I would say the vast majority of them just don't end up going anywhere. But it is a place for big companies and small companies to pitch some wild ideas. Last year, there was a lot of technology around analyzing your pee, you know, to get health data from that. So we see a lot of crazy things at CES, and I think that's the fun of it, to see what people can come up with. I'd say the vast majority probably won't make it here, except for the stuff you're hearing from big companies. So, you know, we see a lot of new TVs and things like that. Those are real.
I want to talk about the TVs, but I guess I wanted to ask that because there seems to be a lot of talk about something called the AI pin. Tell me about that, and whether you think that will be one that is something that people adopt.
Yeah, the AI pin is from Humane. It's a company founded by somebody who used to work at Apple, I believe a former iPhone designer. And it is essentially a pin you can wear on your clothes that replaces your smartphone. It has a little camera in it. It has a little microphone in it. You can talk to it to ask it questions, similar to ChatGPT or Microsoft's Copilot. You can hold things up to it to ask a question about that. You can use the camera for that too. You can also take phone calls, I believe, as well. It also requires a cell phone line. This is a standalone AI device, and we're seeing this. There was another one announced yesterday, I believe called Rabbit, which was being hyped up on Twitter for a while. So basically little devices that can tap into AI that don't need your phone at all. It's an interesting trend, but I'm personally not too sold on it. The Human AI pin is $6.99 in the US, and it's going to require a separate, you know, cellular subscription. I don't think people want another cell phone line, you know? We have our phones. We could do a lot with our phones, but maybe these are a glimpse of what we could eventually do with our phones, you know, just talking to AI more directly.
Okay. As you look at all of this, what strikes you about the AI universe? I mean, what limitations or concerns are you getting? Are you picking up, perceiving?
It's I think the companies are full pedal to the metal for accelerating into AI. Certainly Microsoft. The story of Microsoft last year was They spent a lot of money investing in OpenAI. They're a minority investor in that company, over $10 billion. So they want to see their investment kind of have something to show for it. So they announced co-pilots across everything. I think it's going to be a big deal for these companies, but I'm still worried as a content creator, as a human being. I still think we have a lot of philosophical questions we need to ask before we start implementing some of these AI solutions. These things are scraping data from the internet. You know, generative AI is not magic. It is something that has scooped up a lot of information that already exists, and it just has a really smart algorithm that can fetch information from that really quickly. So it seems like magic. It seems like it can almost think, but it's actually just regurgitating stuff it's already taken in. I do think content creators are worried about that. The New York Times is in the process of suing OpenAI because of scraping, because they scraped their data.
Yeah, still lots of reason to take pause and give some careful thought to AI in our universe right now. Before I let you go, we did mention televisions. It's a car show. It's a home electronics show in so many ways, gaming and everything. But on the TV front, anything there that caught your eye, Devindra?
It seems like this year, everyone is trying to go brighter. Sony announced that they're working on TVs that can go up to 4,000 nits, I believe, just a wild amount of brightness. Same thing for LG and some of their OLED. So brightness is a big key. The one thing I want to tell everybody, and I've been saying this at CES for years, is that you're going to see a lot of hype around 8K TVs. You're going to see companies trying to sell you 8K TVs. And that's the one thing where I'm like, I'm putting my foot down. I'm saying, doesn't really have a place in the home because the content isn't there. Those are really expensive TVs, but nobody is making or streaming 8K content to you, and that may never actually happen. So, get a nice 4K TV, get a nice 4K OLED.
But an 8K, draw the line. Okay.
Draw the line. Yeah, say no.
Listen, so great to meet you here. Hopefully you'll come back and join us another time. Thanks so much, Devindra. Really appreciate the time with you this morning.